Hello everyone. In today's class, let us learn about triple integral. Now suppose f of xyz is a continuous single valued function defined over the region V of a space. Now we are having a region V which is in the space, right? So you got Z, X and Y axis. Now what we do is we'll partition this V into subregions, each of which is a volume delta V. So let us say we have partitioned that one into n subregions where I runs from 1 to n. Then each of subregion has a volume delta Vi. That means along x-axis the rate of change is delta Xi, and along y-axis delta Yi, and along z-axis delta Zi. Using that, we are saying delta Vi is the rate of change of volume of each subregions. Now suppose xi, yi, zi is any point in the subregion, say Vi, then the triple integral is nothing but the integral sum of summation I from 1 to n f of xi, yi, zi into delta xi, delta yi, delta zi, and taking limit as n tends to infinity, so that the diameter becomes 0. If the diameter becomes 0, then that gives you triple integral of f of xyz dx dy dz over the region V. So what I'm saying is you make the partition of each of this region, right, say into n regions, as we did in the case of double integral. In the case of double integral, we have partitioned the given region into rectangles, right, into rectangles, right, where the rate of change in the length, that is x-axis, is delta xi, and rate of change in height, that is y-axis, is delta yi, so that each of rectangle will have area which is given by delta xi into delta yi, right? So using that fact, as limit goes to infinity, then diameter of this region becomes 0, so that you'll get the area of, the integral of f of xyz over that region V, right? So in the same manner we are doing partition of this. Because it is in the space, we have to consider z-axis also. So you'll have height for this region also, length, right, breadth and height. All three will be there for this region when you consider this in the space, right? So over the, you make the partition of that V into n regions, and each of which is having a volume delta Vi. Because it is in the space, you got x-axis length, y-axis length and z-axis length. Say here you are making rectangle, means you can say same thing here. It will be a cuboid, right? It will be a cuboid structure which is having some volume. That volume we are saying as delta Vi, right? So this is a cuboid with x-axis length, rate of change of x-axis length delta xi, rate of change of y-axis length delta yi, and height, rate of change of height is delta zi, right? Using that fact, right, this integral sum, if you take limit as n tends to infinity, then the diameter will become 0, so that becomes the triple integral of f of xyz over the region V. Now, how to evaluate this triple integral? As we know, if you want to evaluate the double integral, as we have done in the earlier cases, right? Suppose if you are having two variables, say x and y, x and y, either x takes the constant limits or y takes the constant limits, but the other one should be a dependent function on x or y. That means if you give x as a constant limit, then y will be a function dependent on x. If, or not necessarily, but generally, right, when you evaluating over the region, we'll see whether our y is dependent on x or not. If it is dependent, then x will take constant values, or y may have constant limits also. That probability is also there. Both may have constant limits, or y may take constant limits and x may be dependent on y, or x may be taking constant limit. Both may be of constant limits. Depending on this, suppose because we are integrating this over the region V, each of the point in the space is of order triplet x, y, z, and let us assume that x takes constant limits and y is dependent on x and z is dependent on x and y. So your x varies from a to b and y varies from h of x to g of x and z varies from phi of xy to psi of xy. Now you know that because they are dependent on each other, right, we have to integrate this iteratively. That means first we have to integrate with respect to one variable. Then after integrating that, the answer which we got should be integrated with another variable. Then after that, the answer which we got should be integrated with the last variable. This is how it used to work. And remember, your z is dependent on x and y. So since z is dependent on x and y, first you have to integrate with respect to z, so that z goes off. Once when the z goes off, you'll have left out with the answer which involves only variables x and y. Then you have to integrate that answer which involves x and y with respect to y. When you integrate with respect to y, and when you make the substitution for y as a limit varying from h of x to g of x, your y goes off. You're left out with only variables involving x. And since x takes the constant limits, at the end you will get a real number. Right? So first we have to integrate with respect to z because it depends on two variables. So as usual, first we'll integrate with respect to z, and let us say we have integrated, and the integrated answer of f of xyz is capital F of xyz. And this is an indefinite integral constant. But since this is definite integral, we'll substitute the value for z. What is your z? Z varies from phi of xy to psi of xy. So apply the upper limit. You'll get f of x, y, psi of xy minus f of x, y, phi of xy. Now, this equation involves only variables x and y. Let us say we have simplified this and the answer is some k of xy. And this is the function which involves x and y. Now let us integrate this with respect to y. We have to integrate with respect to y. So let us assume integral of this is capital K of xy plus integration constant. But this is definite integral, so this constant will not come. K of xy, where y runs from h of x to g of x. Now substitute. You will get k of x, g of x minus k of x, h of x. Now see this. This is a function involving only x. Since this is function involving only x and x is having constant limits, this is ordinary definite integral. So we have reduced this triple integral into an ordinary definite integral. And you know how to solve this ordinary definite integral. You use the techniques which you have studied in the lower classes to solve this one. And you will get the answer which is a real number. So this is how you have to evaluate the triple integral. Now we'll see a problem. Evaluate integral from 1 to 2, integral from 1 to 2 of this function. This is your f of xyz, dx, dy, dz. Now see here, limits are constants. Limits are constants. Then how to choose which variable takes which limit? You have to see this. They are given, it has to be differentiated in the order dx, dy, dz. So first you have to integrate with respect to, you have to integrate with respect to dx, dy, dz. So first you have to integrate with respect to dx, means this will be the limit for x. Then you have to integrate that answer, the integrated answer, with respect to y. So this will be the limit for y. Then at the end, you have to integrate with respect to z. Therefore, this is the limit for z. So z varies from 1 to 2, y varies from 1 to 2, and x varies from 1 to 2 of this. First, you have to integrate with respect to x. Then with respect to y, z. Now remember, when you are integrating with respect to x, the other two variables will be constant. Once after the integration with respect to x goes off. Only y and z will remain. Right? Now, since when you are integrating with respect to x, you have to keep y and z as constant. Now here, 1 by y is constant. So 1 by y is constant. What is the integral of x? X square by 2. What is the integral of x? X square by 2 plus y by z is constant. So remaining is 1 here. What is integral of 1? X plus z is constant. 1 by x, integral of 1 by x is log x, and the limit is from 1 to 2. Apply the upper limit and lower limit. Now here 1 by 2y is constant. You'll get 2 square minus 1 square plus y by z is constant. 2 minus 1 plus z is constant. You'll get log 2 minus log 1. Now here 2 square is 4, 4 minus 1, 3. So 3 by 2y. 1 into y by z, and log 1 is 0. So log 2 will remain, z log 2. Now we have to integrate with respect to y. Right? So when you are integrating with respect to y, see, after the integration with respect to x, we got the answer which does not contain x. So one variable has been removed or replaced. Now we are having only two variables. Now after integration with respect to y will goes off. See, now when you are integrating with respect to y, your z is constant. Here 3 by 2y is there, it is constant. 3 by 2 is constant. What is the integral of 1 by y? It is log y plus 1 by z is constant. Integral of y is y square by 2 plus z log 2 is constant. Then you left out with 1. Integral of 1 is y. And the limit is from 1 to 2. Apply the limit. 3 by 2. Apply upper limit. Log 2 minus lower limit log 1 plus 1 by 2z into upper limit 2 square minus lower limit 1 square plus z log 2 into upper limit 2 minus lower limit 1. Here applied, so you don't need to consider this. Now log 1 is 0, so simply 3 log 2 by 3 is remaining, plus 2 square minus 1 is 3 by 2z, 2 minus 1 is 1 into z log 2. So now see, after substitution of the limit, your y has been replaced. Now this function contains only z, so we can integrate this with respect to z. When you are integrating with respect to z, this is constant 3 log 2 by 2. So what is the integral of 1? 1 is remaining here. Integral of 1 is z. 3 by 2 is constant. So integral of 1 by z is log z. Plus log 2 is constant. Integral of z is z square by 2, and the limit is from 1 to 2. Apply the upper limit. Upper limit minus lower limit. 3 log 2 by 2 is constant. Now 2 minus 1 plus 3 by 2 into log 2 minus log 1 plus log 2 by 2 into z square 2 square minus 1 square. Simplify, you'll get 3 log 2 by 2 plus 3 log 2 by 2 plus 3 log 2 by 2, which is 3 times, therefore 9 log 2 by 2. That will be your answer. Now let us see one more problem. Integral 1 to 2, integral 0 to 1, integral minus 1 to 1 of x square plus y square plus z square dz dy dx. Now here the limits are constants. The limits are constants. So we cannot identify which variable takes which value. ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ dz dy dx. That means first we have to integrate with respect to z. So the first one will be the limit for z. Then we have to integrate with respect to y. Therefore this will be the limit for y. And then you have to integrate with respect to x. So this is the limit for x. Right? Now we will integrate in the, and we cannot separate this because it is sum, right? So we cannot separate the variables also. Now let us start with this. So first we have to integrate with respect to z by keeping x and y constant. When you are integrating with respect to x, your x square is constant, so integral of 1 is z, plus y square is constant, integral of 1 is z. Integral of z square is z cube by 3, and the limit is from minus 1 to plus 1. Apply it. Once after integration of this and substitution of the limits, will eliminate z. Only x and y will remain. See, upper limit 1 minus of minus 1 plus y square into 1 plus minus of minus 1 plus 1 by 3 into 1 cube minus 1 cube. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2x square. 1 plus 1, 2, 2y square plus 2 by 3. Now we have to integrate this with respect to y. See, z has eliminated. Now integrate with respect to y. When you are integrating with respect to y, your x is constant. So 2x square is, here 2 is common, so I have taken 2 outside. X square is constant. So 1 is remaining. Integral of 1 is y. Plus integral of y square is y cube by 3 plus 1 by 3 into integral of 1 is y, and the limit is from 0 to 1. Apply it. 1 minus 0 into x square is x square. 1 cube 1 minus 0, 1 by 3 you'll get. 1 minus 0, 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, 2 by 3. Now see, after integration with respect to y, we left out with only term or only variable x. Equation involving only variable x. Now we can easily integrate this with respect to x. Integral of x square is x cube by 3. 2 by 3 is constant, so 1 is remaining. Integral of 1 is x, and the limit is from 1 to 2. Now multiply this by 2. 2 into 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. Apply upper limit 2 cube minus 1 cube plus 2 into 2, 4. 4 by 3. Upper limit 2 minus 1. Equal 2 cube is 8 minus 1, right? 8 minus 1, which is 7. 7 into 2, 14 by 3 plus 4 by 3. You solve that, you'll get 18 by 3, which is 6. Now let us see one more problem. See, here also limits are constants. So we have to see this for order of integration and also to choose the limit for variables. Now here dx is given first, so this is the limit for x, and dy next, therefore this is the limit for y, and dz next, so this is the limit for z, right? So remember, if it is of this order, the last one will take last one, middle one will be having limit for middle one, and first one will be first one, when the limits are constants. If they are not constants, then you have to see the variables and you have to see, and you have to take the limits. Now further, we can write e to the power of x plus y plus z as e to the power of x into e to the power of y into e to the power of z. Now instead of integrating this in a iterated fashion, we can straight away convert this into 3 ordinary definite integral, because here x and y are independent and function is also, right, in the function also, it is possible to separate the variables, right? How? X into e to the power of x into dx, that will be one group. This is the limit for x, not y. X into e to the power of x into dx, one group. Y into e to the power of y into dy, another group. Z into e to the power of z into dz, another group. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವೈ ಝೆಡ್ ಇ ಟು ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಐ ಇ ಟು ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಝೆಡ್ ಡಿ ವೈ ಡಿ ಝೆಡ್ ಅದಷ್ಟು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೊರಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತಾನೇ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ವೈ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಝೆಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಸೊ ಅದು ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವೈ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ನಂತರ ಝೆಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಇಟ್, ರೈಟ್? You can do in the iterated manner, or you can do in this fashion also. If it is possible to separate like this, that is not possible here. Even though the limits are constants, we cannot separate them as three different integrals. Why? Because in the function, right, you are having sum. It is not possible to separate it. Here it is product, right? That's why we can separate it. Now integral of z into ez, e to the power of z, you apply product rule, that is integration by parts. Keeps z as it is. Integral of e to the power of z is e to the power of z minus this integrated answer e to the power of z into derivative of z is 1. Because you are having z e to the power of z dz is replaced by y here, same thing applies. You'll get same answer in terms of y. Same integration of this, only you are having variable x, so you'll get the same answer. Now integral of e to the power of z is e to the power of z, so you'll get the same. Apply the upper limit. 1 into this, 1 into e to the power of 1 is e, minus 0 into anything is 0. E to the power of 1 minus of e to the power of 0. Now e to the power of 0 is 1. Now e minus e plus 1, if you multiply by minus sign, so e and e get cancels, 1 will remain. 1 1 1, 1 into 1 into 1 is 1, so you got the answer. Now let us move on to one more problem. Now see here the function is, the limits are dependent on each other. In the first one you are having x and z, so when it is involving x and z, the remaining is variable y, therefore this is the limit for y. Now we are not going to bother about this. We have to see this because it contains two variables, right? So the third variable, this will be the limit for third variable. Now y has been assigned, remaining two variables are x and z. See the second limit here. This is the limit for this is the limit involving z. Therefore, this cannot be the limit for z. This should be the limit for x, right? So x and y are assigned. Therefore, this will be the limit for the remaining variable, that is z. So first we have to integrate with respect to y, then with respect to x, at last with respect to z, right? Now let us integrate with respect to y. Can we separate this into three integrals? No, because here variable limits are dependent on each other. We cannot write this one as three different integral, even though if the function is product where we can separate the terms involving x, y, z separately. It's not possible. ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಗಳು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಂಗೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. You have to go in the iterated manner. Now when you are integrating with respect to y, your x is constant, so x constant, remaining is 1, integral of 1 is y. Integral of y is y square by 2, z is constant, so remaining is 1, integral of 1 is y, and apply the limit. Upper limit x plus z minus lower limit x minus z in all of them. You multiply by this, and minus x plus x cancels. You'll get 2z. 2z into x, 2xz. Here x square, z square cancels. You'll get 4xz. Divided by 2 means you will get 2xz. 2xz plus 2xz is 4xz. Plus here also minus x plus x cancels. You'll get 2z. 2z into z is 2z square. Now the variable y has been eliminated. Right? Only variables are x and z now. Now integrate with respect to x. When you are integrating with respect to x, your z is constant. So 4z is constant. Integral of x is x square by 2 plus 2z square is constant. Remaining is 1. Integral of 1 is x, and the limit is from 0 to z. Apply the upper limit. 2 2s are 4. Right? So 2z will remain. Z square minus 0 square plus 2z square into z minus 0. So 2z into z square is 2z cube. Z into 2z square is 2z cube. 2z cube plus 2z cube is 4z cube. Now x has been eliminated. Only variable remaining is z. Now integrate with respect to z. 4 into z cube. Integral is integration of z cube is z to the power of 4 by 4. And the limit is from minus 1 to plus 1. Apply the limit. Minus 1 to the power of 4 is plus 1. Plus 1 minus 1 becomes 0. 0 into anything is 0. That's it. So we got the answer as 0. Now we'll see one more problem here. See, first two integrals are having constant limits. And the third one is having variable limit here. Because this contains both x and y, this will be obviously the limit for z. x, y illirodrinda idu x, y ge limit agalla. ಉಳಿದ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ z ಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. z ಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಎರಡು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ x, y. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದರ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು again. Right? Here dy is first and dx is next. Therefore, this will be the limit for y and this will be the limit for x. So this is how you have to make the choice for the limits of the variables. Now let us integrate this with respect to z first. Remember here, it is product of x, y, z. We can easily separate this into terms involving x, y, z separately. But we cannot do that. Why? Because your limit of a variable contains, your limits are variable, right? So variable limits are present. We cannot integrate this as three different integrals. So you have to go in the iterated manner. First, we have to integrate with respect to z. When you are integrating with respect to z, your x and y are constants, so are kept outside. What is integral of z? Z square by 2, and the limit is from square root of x square plus y square to 2. Apply the limit. 1 by 2 is constant. I have written outside. If you apply upper limit, you will get 2 square, which is 4, minus lower limit, square root of x square plus y square whole square. Square root cancels. Right? Now multiply xy with this. So 4 into xy, 4xy, minus x square into xy is x cube y, minus into plus minus y square into xy is minus xy cube. Now we have to integrate this with respect to y. When you are integrating with respect to y, your x is constant. So 4x is constant. Y square by 2 is the integral of y, minus x cube is constant. Integral of y is y square by 2 minus x into integral of y cube is y to the power of 4 by 4, and the limit is from 0 to 1. Apply the upper limit. 2 2s are 4, so 2x is there. 2 square, 1 square minus 0, that is 1, minus x cube by 2 into 1 minus 0, which is 1, minus x by 4 is 1 minus 0. So simply you will get, because this is 2x and this is minus x by 4, you will get 7x by 4 minus x cube by 2. Now we can easily integrate this with respect to x. 7 by 4 is constant, and integral of x is x square by 2 minus 1 by 2 into integral of x cube is x to the power of 4 by 4, and the limit is from 0 to 1. Apply the limit and simplify, you will get this answer. Fine. Now see here, we're having another problem. Here, in the first limit, x and y both are present. Therefore, this will be the limit for z. Now see the second one. See here, 0 and x are the limit. Since x is present, we know that after giving the value for, after choosing the limit for z, we left out with only x and y. And this cannot be the limit for x, right? So this should be the limit for y because it contains x term. And when you assign the limit for y and z, you left out with x. So this will be the limit for x. Though they are given dz, dy, dx, right? Straight away, by seeing this also you can, but sometimes if they are not given in this order, you have to see the limit, right? Then depending on the limits, you have to choose the limit for variables. Now first we have to integrate with respect to z. As usual, we can separate this into e to the power of x into e to the power of y into e to the power of z. Though we can separate the terms in the function, because the limits are dependent on each other variable, we cannot write them as three different integrals. We have to integrate in a iterated fashion. First, let us integrate with respect to z. When you are integrating with respect to z, your e to the power of x and e to the power of y are constants. E to the power of x into e to the power of y is e to the power of x plus y. Now, what is the integral of e to the power of z? E to the power of z only. And the limit is from 0 to x plus log y. Apply the limit. E to the power of x plus log y minus e to the power of 0 into outside e to the power of x plus y is there. Now multiply this. Before multiplying, separate this. We can write this one as e to the power of x into e to the power of log y. And log and e gets cancels. So you'll get y. Now multiply this by e to the power of x plus y. E to the power of x plus y into e to the power of x. Since they are of same base, we can add the power. So x plus x, 2x plus y into y minus e to the power of x plus y into 1 is e to the power of x plus y. Now we have to integrate this with respect to y. When you are integrating with respect to y, remember your x is constant. So this is constant. Now this is of the form, right? If this is constant, then this will be some b plus ax. Right? We know what is integral of e to the power of ax plus b. That is e to the power of ax plus b divided by coefficient of x, that is a. But here instead of x, you have to choose y because you are integrating with respect to y. So what is integral of e to the power of 2x plus y? And y is constant. You should you have to apply product rule because you are integrating with respect to y. Therefore, you have to apply integration by parts. So keep y as it is. Integral of e to the power of 2x plus y is e to the power of 2x plus y divided by coefficient of y is 1 minus this integrated answer into derivative of y is 1 minus what is integral of this? E to the power of x plus y divided by, here what is the coefficient of y? 1. Because we are integrating with respect to y, right? Your x is constant. Now again, integral of e to the power of 2x plus y is e to the power of 2x plus y divided by coefficient of y is 1. Apply the limit. Limit is from 0 to x. If you apply upper limit for y, you'll get x into e to the power of 2x plus x, which is 3x, minus lower limit 0 into anything is 0, minus upper limit. If you give x, e to the power of 2x plus x is 3x, minus if you put y equal to 0, you'll get e to the power of 2x, minus if you apply lower upper limit, you'll get e to the power of x plus x, which is 2x, minus if you put y equal to 0, you'll get e to the power of x. Now multiply by minus sign, you'll get x into e to the power of 3x minus e to the power of 3x minus into minus plus e to the power of 2x minus e to the power of 2x. These two get cancels, right? Minus into minus plus e to the power of x. Now it is very easy to integrate this, right? First you have to apply integration by parts. Keep x as it is. Integral of e to the power of 3x is e to the power of 3x divided by coefficient of x is 3 minus integral of this integrated answer into derivative of x is 1 minus integral of e to the power of 3x is e to the power of 3x divided by the coefficient of x is 3 plus integral of e to the power of x is e to the power of x divided by coefficient of x is 1. Now you know what is integral of e to the power of 3x. E to the power of 3x by 3. Again you will get one more 3 here. Now apply the limit. If you put x equal to log 2, you will get 1 by 3 is constant, right? Log 2 into e to the power of 3 log 2 minus, if you put lower limit, 0 into anything is 0, minus 1 by 9 is constant. E to the power of 3 log 2 minus e to the power of 0 into anything is 0, minus 1 by 3 is constant. E to the power of 3 log 2 minus e to the power of 0 plus e to the power of log 2 minus e to the power of 0. Now we can take this 3 inside this log so that this becomes log 2 cube. Then log and e get cancels. Log and e gets cancels. And since both are having same term here, we can club them. We can take the common factor. If you take this as a common factor, then and with minus sign, then you'll get 1 by 9 plus 1 by 3 as common. And e and log gets cancels. You'll get 2 and e to the power of 0 is 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1, right? 2 cube is 8. 8 minus 1, 7. Take LCM, 9. You'll get 4 by 9 into 8 minus 1, 7. And here also, you'll get 8. 8 log 2 by 3. Take LCM. This will be your answer. Similarly, I had given few problems. You work out them and write them as assignment. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತೇನ್ರಿ?